Aloha and welcome to the latest installment of the HNN Overtime podcast, the Hawaii News Now Sports podcast. I am Kyle Chinen, your resident sports reporter, joined as always with the one, the only Davis Pitner. What is up, my friend?
Kyle, we are back in studio. We were a little ways away from here. We were over in LA.
We did a podcast in a living room in a courtyard at the airport. And we're back home.
We are back home. It's nice to be back home.
It's nice, warm.
We had some special guests for this episode.
Exactly.
Some would say maybe a little bit of celebrities. I mean, definitely champs. Definitely champs.
Big time celebrities here in Hawaii. They followed us here from LA. We were with them all throughout the week, and we are very, very excited to be joined today by the two-time national champion Rainbow Warriors men's volleyball team. We have head coach Charlie Wade, All-American setter Jakob Thelle, the lethal lefty, the ace king,
Stone-faced killer, as I say.
Stone-faced killer.
Oh my God.
Given to by yourself.
I know.
What a nickname.
I will take credit for that. I told Jakob that, and I think he liked it.
I think he did. And obviously, men's volleyball players, they're big. Head coach Charlie Wade, he's tall as well. Not exactly a lot of space in this studio, so we had to move it out to the main set for the convo we had, but yep. I think it worked out pretty well.
I think it worked out too. We were at first going to use chairs for these guys, and then we saw how tall Jakob was and decided otherwise.
Yeah, and I think, what are we, like we were like the mid-range of height here at the office. Mark Carpenter is what?
You mean I'm like, the mid-range, height.
I'm like 3 inches shorter than you, dude.
Sorry, Kyle.
I'm taller than most of the other reporters besides Mark. Obviously, Mark has become the tallest reporter.
Mark
anchor.
Is now the tallest.
And Kiahi's taller than me.
Yep.
But you know what? I think Ash, Mahea, Sammy. I'm definitely taller than Sammy and Jelani. I'll tell you that. I will take that as part of the Youngins crew of HNN.
This is a sensitive topic for sure.
I know. But anywho, you will see the height difference that they have on us when we get to it. But, 3 weeks removed from the championship, we got to sit down and talk story with them, how they kind of are digesting it and, also some other fun stuff along the way. Yeah,
it was an awesome interview. We got some insights on the tournament itself, some gameplay, for Jakob, what it was like to be, an All-American and have that type of responsibility on the team, as well as some fun things at the end. I don't know how you would describe it.
Testing our world knowledge and our pronunciation of certain
We'll stick
things.
with that.
Yeah.
We'll stick with that.
Yeah.
Kyle and I did a fun little bit with Jakob, in which we tried to pronounce Norwegian foods.
Right.
I don't know how well we did.
We tried. And he was very accommodating to us. So, Jakob, thank you for that. But yeah, all the fun. It was so much fun, dude. It was just great to see them. Great to hold the trophy.
Yeah, those things are a lot heavier than they first appear.
Mm-hmm. We had no business holding those things.
We had no business, and the ongoing thought in my mind was, Davis, don't drop this trophy. Yep. Don't drop this trophy.
Yep.
That was a little nerve-wracking and very cool at the same time.
Exactly. But you know what? Without further ado, let's get to it. Here's the interview. Here's the convo. Jakob Thelle, Charlie Wade. All right, everybody, we are here with the two-time champs. We're here with head coach Charlie Wade and All-American setter Jakob Thelle. Thank you guys for joining us again.
Thanks for having us.
First couple questions we have for you. Has it set in yet? Has it set in? You guys are the two-time defending national champions.
Yeah, it was a great week in LA, and at the end we were playing our best volleyball and able to get it done. So, pretty satisfied with how the week went for sure.
Jakob, for you, you were on the floor, throughout that week. Has it kind of, hit you that you are a back-to-back national champion?
Well, not really. It's definitely a unique feeling, and being out there with all my teammates and celebrating the win, it just feels incredible. It's something that kind of sits in my head forever. So, it's definitely it's gonna stay in my head until the next season starts.
Let's talk a little bit about the tournament itself, especially that last game. Kyle and I were there. We were in that atmosphere. What was it like to see all the fans out there? They made the travel all the way from Hawaii. What was it like to hear that clap at the end, the celebration?
I mean, it's incredible. Like, there's no words to describe how it feels like. Just being there and playing in front of crowds is one thing incredible, because last season we had nothing of that. So just having that this season just means everything to us. And like maybe having half of Hawaii there with us, we had the whole Hawaii in our hearts. So that was, amazing experience.
And it was unique that the hotel was literally 50 yards from Pauley Pavilion, so really convenient to go to serve and pass and to walk over for the match and stuff. A little more difficult to feed everybody because there was no food there, or it was too pricey in the hotel, but they made it pretty convenient for us, like I said, with the hotel literally 50 yards from the venue, and it was a lot easier to navigate from that standpoint.
Right, and Jakob, for you, kind of off the court side, what is one of the memories that is going to just stick with you throughout this trip and this experience?
Just being around with the team is a lot, because like last year with COVID, a lot more restrictions, we couldn't like be as much together as well. So it was like being in a bubble, and this year like things were more open. We can kind of go to cafe, like get coffee at different places, and that was a lot of fun. Just walking around, like seeing LA and seeing some places, getting around, and a lot of fun overall.
Yeah, what were some of the places that you guys kind of did outside of it? Did you guys see any cool landmarks? Did you do anything fun after?
Well, not too much, just kind of around the hotel pretty much. Like I found a pretty good coffee shop place. I went there every day, got dirty chais. That was like the secret recipe. But so just a lot of coffee and different places. Cool, just like seeing how the campus is, and
During these games, we talk a lot about the star players, and specifically, you being an All-American, having that kind of title that comes with you. Is there a sense of responsibility going into these games?
It's definitely a lot of responsibility. That's something that I always embrace. Like I like being in those kind of more under pressure circumstances. That's something that I kind of grow up. So I always see that as a chance, like an opportunity to kind of grow, become a better individual and more of a leader within the team. We definitely had a lot of players stepping up and like taking more responsibility as far as just on the court, off the court, and just overall making a good atmosphere.
It's definitely a team game. Was there, going into that last game, obviously Nikolov was, the player of the year, their star right there. Was it kind of like a sense going into this, it's like, me versus him in a way, you two are kind of the stars of each team?
It was definitely us versus him, or us versus them. It was never like about me or someone on the team. Like it's always about the team in general. Like that's something we emphasize on. And I mean, like in that game, we just knew what we had to do to win, and we just went there and executed. Like it was up to us, and that's what we did.
Coach, for you, that was the 4th time this season you guys saw Long Beach, and it's kind of like, the internet and Twitter, they kind of just call it like these are like the two ex-boyfriend and girlfriends that just keep finding each other some way or another. They just keep finding their way back to each other. What was it like for you to what was it like for you to kind of just get back into game prep for a team that you guys have faced already 3 times in this season? Yeah,
I mean, obviously it's easier to prepare and a pretty high level of familiarity. We had just played them a week earlier for the Big West Championship. So 4 times in basically a month, and like I said, the second time in a little over a week. So we were pretty familiar with what they were going to do. There's no doubt.
We're always talking about, growing the game of men's volleyball. And we kind of saw that in the tournament with NGU, kind of making it, an unexpected run. We didn't expect them to beat Princeton. How have you seen, volleyball grown over the years? This team that no one really heard of before, making it into the tournament.
Yeah, and that's, the growth has been not just new programs, but entire new leagues. The Carolina League is the newest one and part of the agreement is that the league, you start a new league, you will get a bid, an AQ into the NC2A tournament. We got 2 more leagues that have started and will come online in another year. The SIAC and the NEC are both up and playing, and we played teams from those leagues this year, and those teams too will be in the NC2A tournament. I want to say 24 will be the first time they get a chance. So it's an exciting time for men's volleyball. We've seen the growth be pretty significant, and I think we're looking at bracket expansion. The bracket's going to have to go to whether it's 11 or 12 sometime in the next few years.
And, talk about that. You filled your schedule this year with a lot of, first-year programs. How special was that for you to see, for both of you guys, just kind of the visualization and the realization of, growing the game and expanding it, playing these first-time programs?
Well, and it's, I somewhat feel some responsibility of wanting, these programs start, you have to play them. We also have the luxury that we play in the hardest league, so that at the end of the year we're still going to have a strong RPI. We're going to go back, we're going to play 10 matches against the very best teams in the country. So getting out and playing those teams at our place, we'll go on the road and play some of those teams too. So it is all a part about growing the game, and it's we're, like I said, an exciting time. We're in a very ascendant phase in the growth of men's volleyball, and looking forward to getting out and competing against these new programs.
Kind of going back into the tournament, maybe Jakob, you could talk about this. Obviously, NGU and also Long Beach were both sweeps, but Ball State was a little bit trickier. Was there something out there that was making it harder for you guys?
I think that just overall a really good team. We've been looking forward at least playing against them with a full squad, and at least something personally I've been looking forward to the whole season, getting that matchup again. And I think just overall they're an incredible team. They have so many good high quality players, and it's a tough team to stop. If you're not having your good moments and can play at that high level consistently, then you're definitely going to get points away from you, and they're going to definitely keep it up. So playing 5 sets was definitely something we're preparing for a tough game, and I'm just happy that we got the win against them because they're an incredible program, incredible team.
And 3 weeks removed from your second straight championship, has kind of the text messages or the congratulations, has it settled down yet? Have you guys kind of been able to sit down, breathe a little bit? I know last week you guys were all around downtown and all that. Has it kind of you're allowed to chill out now?
Not quite. We had a big event last night, and but look, it never gets old, and we want to share this experience with as many people as you can, and really appreciative for people coming out and supporting and how excited they are for the success of the program. I do get on a plane Thursday night and back on the road recruiting, and then it's pretty much business as usual, and going to be on the road all the way through the middle of August basically. But we're just going to get back in. I think Jakob said it earlier. He's just doing what he did the year before, and we'll just keep doing what we're doing and hopefully put ourselves to be in this situation again.
Do you think there's been kind of a ripple effect after these championships? Has there been more interest into the program, do you think, after seeing this team, win 2 years in a row?
Well, I don't think it's hurt. You know what I'm saying? I think Hawaii's a very unique place, and I don't think many people are kind of indifferent about it. You're either all about it and you really want to come, or it's too far. Right, and that's really the only thing anybody ever can say. The reason they won't come here, because it's too far for them. But definitely have some momentum, and certainly a lot of interest in the program. We're fortunate that the amount of television coverage that we get, our matches are seen all over the world. So there's young kids watching us play literally all over the planet, and it's great for us to get out and have everybody see what we're doing, and hopefully keep putting championship teams on the floor.
And that's a good point. It was funny for Kyle and I. We were in the media room, and a student from UCLA was in there, and they're like, "Wait, all these cameras are for Hawaii? Why are you guys having so much coverage?" And
they were like, "Are you guys all on one station?" And we're like, "Oh no, 3 separate stations all for the tournament."
Yeah,
she was really surprised.
Yeah, what does that mean for Hawaii? What stands out about this? Because this is kind of the biggest sport here.
Yeah, and I've said, look, volleyball's a big deal here, and it's hard for people who aren't from here and don't see the amount of exposure we get to really get their heads wrapped around how much TV coverage and the newspaper and the radio. Everyone in the state embraces UH athletics, and volleyball has a special place in everybody's heart. And with the success that we've had over the last several years, it's just continues to grow and grow, and it's really exciting. It's something we'd never take for granted, and we're just so appreciative and humbled by the amount of support that we get. We just continue to work hard and use that as motivation to be our best. Every time we get an opportunity to prove it.
Jakob, for you, obviously, when you're getting recruited here, coach can only really talk about that kind of experience you're going to have. Now being in the program and experiencing it, can you even walk through the food land and not get recognized?
For sure, something that I've never been used to, because in Norway, I wouldn't even say Norway is having volleyball as a sport, barely, because we're so into winter sports, Winter Olympics, always doing pretty good there, and I never had to do a single interview or a single media coverage thing in Norway until I got here, pretty much, and people getting more interested about it. But like you're saying, people around in just daily life recognize me, and that's something I will kind of never just swallow, because it's just amazing, like seeing how people kind of recognize you, but just like the amount of support you get outside of just a volleyball court in the arena is just phenomenal. So it's something that's going to send it to Hawaii specifically. Like I don't think there's any better place to play volleyball than Hawaii.
I wanted to ask that too. You know, coming from Norway, some people wonder like what your upbringing was. You know, how did you get into volleyball? You know, is that even a thing in Norway really?
Barely. Well, it's getting more now. Like with beach volleyball, that we won the Summer Olympics in beach volleyball. But it all started with Henrik Moll, who went here, a UH alumni, and he played middle blocker. I had a conversation with him as he got back and coached at the high school that I went to, top ball in Norway. And from then, like, he just spoke about Hawaii, the experience he had, and I was like, yeah, I definitely want to pursue that dream. So that's something that I wanted to do. And then I got in touch with Coach Charlie and the rest of the coaching staff, and the rest is history.
You know, we watched the content you guys put on YouTube and all that. You killed that pigeon test, by the way.
Mahalos, bro.
How quickly was that for you to kind of just ingrain yourself into the culture, into the language?
Yeah, so Pidgin is my 6th language officially, because I speak Norwegian, Danish, Swedish, German, English, and now Pidgin as well. So it's definitely a couple languages up there. But I mean, like, I love Hawaii. Hawaii is now considered my second home. It feels like home, and that's because of the people. And also the culture is unique. And I love, like Pidgin, like I cruise Sandy's, I go different places, and I catch up like different lingo, you know, like I'll enjoy that stuff, so yeah.
There's a lot of you international guys on the team. Would you say then you're the best at Pidgin?
Pidgin? Oh, it's Feature is definitely up there.
I was going to say Philip.
Yeah, Philip, he speaks like on a daily basis, like more than just plain English. Like there's no English for him, it's just Pidgin. Like you can hear like on all, like in the locker room we speak more Pidgin than like just basic English. At least internationals we are in between each other as well. So.
What's something that, like, you know, for the fans, what's something about the team that maybe they don't know? Something funny, something quirky about one of the players or something?
Ooh, we have a lot of good dancers on the team, that's for sure. Like, probably like the teams don't see us much like in the huddle before the games, but we have a lot of talent there, like Ilay Choi, Trevelyan, like Trevi is also a pretty good dancer, Avery Enrique is like, yeah, a lot of good dancers, and we don't get to see that much on the court either, but you see it sometimes.
Going back to kind of the volleyball side of things, you know, looking towards next season, was it after you guys won their title in 21, you guys had a kind of a mass exodus of seniors this year, you know, basically your lineup from that championship match is, you know, coming back. For you guys both, how exciting is that to just kind of have that continuity going into 23?
Yeah, it's great, you know, and even after 21 with graduating 4 All-Americans, we knew that the replacements were already in our gym. So they're guys that have been training with us, and you know, this is kind of the same situation where not only the guys are in the gym, but the guys who are actually on the floor. There's guys who are in the gym that are going to be pressing to get themselves on the court, and we got some talented guys coming in to join the group too. So yeah, it's an exciting time for the program, no doubt.
Yeah, and it's always whoever steps in the court, like we know they're going to play at a high level. So that's like the thing in our gym is like you have a luxury problem, like you have great players in every single position. So it's always like a scramble in practices, and we always push each other to become better. But yeah, like just losing a couple of really important guys in the left, like I said, they're left for this year, it's just been something we kind of just follow, like the path of like success and seeing what it takes, and like actually like winning it is like something that kind of sticks to me and something that I kind of pursue as well in the practice gym and also reflect in the game.
Are you guys ready for a third one in the row?
Oh yeah, we are, always. That's like something we always have in mind, and now we kind of passed our last season, like our previous season now, and we kind of focus on the next one. So whatever we can do to prepare for that one is like the next thing in our minds.
Jakob, do you kind of, I mean, how, are you on social media a lot? Because, you know, you've kind of garnered a lot of nicknames throughout this season. Well, I've listed a couple, so just kind of give your thoughts on them. G called you the captain, just plain simple, the captain. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, your thoughts?
I mean, I think G is the captain as well, but I really appreciate him saying that. We all like, yeah, we all have different responsibilities, and we're all kind of leaders in our separate ways, but yeah, G is a fantastic guy, so I appreciate that.
Another one is the lethal lefty.
Lethal lefty. It's aggressive. Yeah, spicy Avi. I like that one, lethal lefty.
Another one which you earned this year, obviously, was the Ace King. Talk about, you know, the ace record that you were able to get this year, and then, you know, just being, you know, the Ace King.
Yeah, that's cool. I never even knew like that I took a record until after the game, because I never like thought about like breaking records. Like I just like went for my good serve and like kind of do the same thing like I normally want to do. So like knowing that after, that was pretty cool, like getting into the books of UH. So.
Tiff Wells likes to say this on his broadcast too, but Tella on 2. Is that one that's kind of...
That's the one that I hear the most.
Yeah?
Like out in public, it's always like, oh, Thelle on too. I'm like, yes, God bless.
Awesome.
So they all know it, yeah. But like what I think now is like one that's coming up is more because I'm a fifth year. I'll be a fifth year, and then I receive the Uncle status. I'll be just called Uncle Jake.
Uncle Jake.
Yeah, that's the next one probably. That's the one.
I gotta ask too. You know, Kyle and I were briefly talking about it. You don't seem to show a lot of emotion during the game. You know, it's all seriousness. You score an ace, and we're like, oh wow, he scored an ace, and then you're just like, you know, it's like it didn't even happen.
I do a lot of celebration in my head, if that helps. But like I never like kind of show too much because I don't like riding the emotional roller coasters in the game. Like my position requires that I'm always focused on like what's next and what's coming up and kind of encouraging everybody. So I want to stay mental on that same path, pretty controlled, like in sync. So I don't want to ride those like high waves or low waves. I just want to be like a leader and kind of encourage everybody to do their best. So that's something that I kind of stick to. So not as fun to watch, but that's something that that's my game of play. That's how I play.
Which is, what did you call him in LA?
Oh yeah, no, I was calling you the Stone-Faced Killer. Just so,
Killer?
yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
Now that it's the off season for both of you guys, kind of go over some of your favorite local treats that you kind of like to just indulge in every once in a while, or you know, every week if you need to.
Mm-hmm. And it's definitely still poke. Like I even just brought poke here to the studio, but I eat poke for breakfast, lunch, and dinner pretty much. Sometimes dessert, depends on the quality of it if it stays for a whole day. But still poke. I love all the Hawaiian food, the onagines. Yeah, it's all mops. So like I eat everything pretty much. Like I'm a huge fan of all the food that is around here in Hawaii and the islands.
Now, kind of tonally switching, we have I need my notes for this one, but
Kyle and I were trying to figure this out.
But you know, being from Norway, you obviously also have your own unique set of treats, much like here in Hawaii. Just kind of get your thoughts and maybe some of your favorites on some of these. We're gonna
be good.
We're gonna
Why
share.
are you including me? Because
we're
looking forward to you saying
we're
everything.
co-hosts, so we have to share
Oh man.
share it.
I can help you out if not.
All right. So for this one, English translation is a cinnamon bun, but kanelbolle.
Kanelbolle. Yeah.
Kanelbolle.
Yeah, so a really like common dough is like the dough you make for cinnamon rolls, and you can make a lot of things out of it. So it's kanelbolle is just like a cinnamon roll, pretty much.
Okay.
Yep. I love that one.
All right, here's my next one. Knäckebröd.
Knäckebröd. Yeah, that's like a cracker, pretty much, like a really thin layer of bread that you put like in the oven for a while, and then it stays, and it's like nice and crunchy. You put like anything on it, cheese, ham, whatever you like. Yeah.
Okay. This is cream ball. Is it creme brulee or creme bowl?
Creme brulee, or how do you spell it? My big way to start.
Krembolle.
Creme brulee, perhaps. Okay, that's like also pretty good. The same dough as the cinnamon roll. Again, like I'm a huge fan of baking, and I'm also a sweet tooth, which a lot of people know. But like if I was in Hawaii, I would definitely start a baking company, like a bakery. So we'll see.
Wow.
So funny thing, there's a member of the UH football team, Kobe Wyatt. He has an Instagram called Kobe's Kitchen. Are we opening Jakob's Bakery anytime soon?
I'd be definitely down for that. Yeah, just gotta get a kitchen first, a good one. Then I'll bake anything.
My last question for you guys. What's your guys' messages to the fans? Everyone who supported you guys throughout this tournament, throughout this season, you know, what's your message to them, and what can they expect for this upcoming season?
Well, one, just how appreciative we are for the support that we get, you know, and it's people support us in so many different ways. There's some of the people that come out to the game, the people that are watching the neighbor island and all over the planet, and then people that attend our fundraising events that help us allow me to go places to bring these talented players into our program. And then I'd say too, just the message of, you know, life will give you some adversity, you know, and to believe in the people that you work with, and to believe in each other, and to overcome that adversity, just keep working and focus on the things you can control, is really your only choice. And if you believe and keep working, good things will happen.
Yeah, and I mean, just words cannot describe like how much the fans mean to us. Like they're a part of our Wahana, our family, and they're they're always here with us, good or bad days. Like, they're always sticking there with us and cheering for us, and that means everything to us as a team. And also just representing them as well. It's just something that we kind of take on really pride in. So we hope to see them even next year as well, and just get that support continuously, because they mean everything to us, really.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for being with us today. And that's going to do it for this episode of HNN Overtime. To listen to all of our previous episodes and this episode, you can head to Spotify or wherever you get your Hawaii News Now podcasts. And to watch, you can head over to our YouTube channel. Thank you. Aloha.
Go Bows.